Welcome to qnawire.
Our goal in this problem is to find the 1,000th derivative. So clearly we're not going to take 1,000 derivatives. We're going to take a few derivatives and then we're going to find a pattern. So let's start with the first derivative. We need to use the product rule. So we have the first x times the derivative of the second, e to the opposite of x times negative 1. We got that from the chain rule. Plus the second, e to the opposite of x times the derivative of the first, 1. Okay, we can factor e to the negative x out of both of those, and we have e to the negative x times 1 minus x. That's our first derivative. Now let's move on to the second derivative. We're going to need to use the product rule on that. So we have the first, e to the negative x, times the derivative of the second, negative 1, plus the second, 1 minus x, times the derivative of the first, e to the negative x, times negative 1. We can factor negative 1 times e to the negative x out of both of those terms, and that leaves us with 1 plus 1 minus x, so that would be 2 minus x. Now let's find the third derivative. So we're going to use the product rule on what we just got. So we have the first, the opposite of e to the opposite of x, times the derivative of the second, negative 1, plus the second, 2 minus x, times the derivative of the first, the opposite of e to the opposite of x times negative 1. Okay, so what we can do here is simplify, multiply the negatives, we get a positive, so e to the opposite of x plus 2 minus x times e to the opposite of x. And if we factor the e to the opposite of x out of those, we have 1 plus 2 minus x, so we have 3 minus x. Now we might start to get a glimmer of what the pattern is. Let's do one more. Let's do the fourth derivative. So we have product rule again, the first, e to the opposite of x, times the derivative of the second, negative 1, plus the second, 3 minus x, times the derivative of the first, e to the opposite of x times negative 1. Let's factor negative 1 times e to the opposite of x out of both terms, and we have 1 plus 3 minus x, so we have 4 minus x. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Notice that we have alternating positive, negative, in front of our e to the negative x, and then we had, for the first derivative, 1 minus x, for the second derivative, 2 minus x, for the third derivative, 3 minus x, and for the fourth derivative, 4 minus x. So the 1,000th derivative would have a negative in front of it, since all the evens seem to have negatives in front of them, and it would have a 1,000 minus x. So we end up with the 1,000th derivative of f is the opposite of e to the opposite of x times 1,000 minus x. And another way we could write that, if we want to distribute the negative through the parentheses, is e to the opposite of x times x minus 1,000.